Well, welcome back to SAFC Live. Delighted to say that Sunderland are back to winning ways with a 1-0 win down at Carrow Road. Danny, much better this afternoon.
Yeah, of course it was, yeah. I think we were just saying there, wasn't it? That's football. Look at the previous results, 3 defeats on the bounce. Going down to Carrow Road today, there wouldn't have been too many perhaps who fancied us, with the squad, as you mentioned, being threadbare as such. A lot of lads in the treatment room, but that's football. We've had to dig in, as we said in that second half. First half, I thought we were excellent. Looked to threaten the counter-attack. And then got over the line.
Now in the post-game programme we'll be going through your thoughts, we'll look at the league table, but we'll start by looking back at the action from the game. And it was a much better game than last weekend, as we've already mentioned. Joe Gelhardt doing alright in the first half, and things were sticking with him today a bit better than usual.
I thought he was saying his link-up play was good, with Barr just in behind him. He's quite strong, Joe. He's not the biggest, is he, in terms of his height, but he puts himself about, and today, as you say, Frankie, it was sticking quite well for him. But 1 or 2 warning signs there. Norwich, Aaron's getting in behind on that right-hand side, gets the shot away. Angles against him, of course, with Anthony Patterson at his near post. You'd fancy him to make the save there, puts his laces through it, but a good save. But it was quite an open game. I expected it to be. Norwich, they'll let you have a bit of the ball at times and try and play their football and fancy themselves to pass their way through you, but they never really managed to do that today and get that clear-cut chance.
We were just speaking off mic there, Danny, weren't we? You can't remember Anthony Patterson pulling off a good save today.
No, he never had to, really. There was 1 or 2 gentle ones, really. See, these are half chances at best there. Pookie, another one who looked frustrated, like Hernandez.
They seemed to have lots of opportunities from set pieces around our box, didn't they? But they weren't able to make anything count.
No, they weren't. No, but let's just have another chat about the goal here now. So yeah, ball, good play from this right hand side. Patrick just feeds it into Joe there. He's just dropped off his man Gibson, I think it is. And then he feeds it into Abdullah Barr, who squares Grant Hanley up. You see now 1v1, fullbacks coming across as well, and Gibson trying to get up to him. But it's a great strike through the defender's legs, through Hanley's legs, isn't it? Across the goalkeeper into that bottom corner, and that's what we're all about at times. That's what we've seen from us so far this season. At times when we're at it and when we've getting into our flow, really, and that's what we're capable of. Patrick there, Joe, good first touch, good weight into Barr there, little step over, just shifts it, doesn't he, and then bang into that bottom corner through Hanley's legs, and that's the difference.
Yeah, it is the difference. Well taken goal by Abdullah Barr. Again, Sunderland all 3 points this afternoon. So there was more opportunities in that first half. This being probably the biggest chance of the game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, perhaps the biggest clear-cut chance, wasn't it? Barr's is half a chance at best, isn't it? And just popped back over the top, isn't it? They go to sleep at the back there. Norwich, you see, line's not good. They're deep on the far side. We thought, he's going to be offside, but the flag doesn't go up. And then I said there, I think with Joe, he's obviously got his 1 goal at Rotherham so far. He's looking to get another one. And I think he's just concentrating on there. Good contact on the ball on his weaker right foot. He puts his side foot through it. Good contact, but unfortunately straight at Angus Gunn in goal. On another day there, he just slots that either side of him, and we find ourselves 2-0 up. And then this one there, a few minutes later again. So we've had a couple of good opportunities after getting the goal. Danny Bart up from the back.
They really got on top, didn't they, once Sunderland scored towards the end of that first half?
That's right, yeah. And you see time and time again, you see we're nicking the ball off him in that first half. This one's difficult for Joe. I think he knows he hasn't got a lot of support there. He's got Barr, who's outside him at the far post with 2 or 3 bodies. He's got to try and squeeze it through to get to him. So he thinks, do you know what, I'll try and put my laces through it. Difficult angle, and just drags the shot wide of that right-hand side post. It's just a Norwich one now. No, it's another one, isn't it, where Jack nicks it. I think here now, look, if Jack plays it now, but then he takes that next touch, doesn't he, and the man gets back at him. It's easy to see for us looking at it on the camera there. Jack, once he gets his head up there, but the opportunity goes away. So you're looking at that in the first half as a whole. That's what the game plan perhaps was, and Tony Mowbray's perhaps said, make sure we're organised and compact behind the ball. But when we get the chance there, go and nick it, try and break with a little bit of pace. And then we limited them to half chances at best. That one there, Kenny McLean, shot from 25 yards. Deflection off Dan Neil, takes the sting out of it. Comfortable one for Anthony Patterson. This one's good. Trey Hume, I said there, we've just mentioned towards the end of the game. Look, Danny Barr, Dan Ballard, Luke O'Nien, especially for me. I'd probably go for Luke man of the match, if I'm honest.
Was this a game won by our defenders, Danny?
Well, it is, because they come off with a clean sheet. You can say Norwich had a few chances, but credit to our lads at the back. We've had to throw bodies in the way. You see that one there. Trey Hume leaves his man to come across, senses the danger, and gets a good sliding challenge in as the lad's about to pull the trigger. And then, another one here. I think this one's Michu, isn't it? Comes across. See there now. about to pull the trigger, bang, good block from him. So yeah, they've all had to contribute, not just the back lads there, it's the lads in front of them. Dan Neal's had to make some challenges as well. And there's Patrick making his way into the box. I think there's another one at the start of the second half as well. It might see it now where Patrick's driving forward as well. No, we're not going to see it, but tried to pull it back from Michu, got cut out. See Jack there, just trying to bend it into that bottom corner, isn't he? Hanley leaves a leg there for him, gets the block in. This is after they'd just taken Aaron's off, wasn't it? We weren't sure what they were going to go. Possibly offside, not sure. Flag stays down. Jack there, 4 defenders coming up against him, so he just tries to open his body up and feed it into that bottom corner. Comes off Grant Hanley's left calf. This is Jack Clark. This one comes out, lovely strike from Jack. Keeper sees it late. Unfortunately for Joe, he's coming onto it and it's on him before he knows it. I think it pops up off his chest.
Great technique from Jack Clark.
Wasn't it? Yeah. It falls into Gunn's hands, doesn't it, at the second time there. But so we've had a lot of good chances in the game, haven't we? Some half chances, if you want to call them then. But then I felt this was when Norwich were going to get on top now, last half an hour or so.
They made a lot of changes, Norwich, as well, in that second half, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah. And the left back, wasn't it? Janulis getting advanced, wasn't he? Once Hernandez went off.
He was swapping sides
as
well.
He was pushed on. And then Pookie, that's his best opening of the game, really, isn't it? And you say it's a floated cross, it's just behind him slightly, and he just tries to guide it into that near post, doesn't he? But it's a comfortable one for Patterson. And that's what we're all about again today. See Barth, Luke O'Nien again throwing the bodies in the way. Centre-halves again involved. Both of them there, 2 headers. Ekwa dips his toe in. And then I think there's another couple of blocks as well from Luke O'Nien we might see. But excellent defending, as a whole, as a back unit individually as well. And the lads in front of him putting a shift in when they had to. And you can see there we're almost the back 6 towards the end of the game. And then that one, Pookie. Difficult one, his edge of the box, and you see his reaction, his face sums it up. And this was the worry, wasn't it? Just towards the end there, well, Ekwa, they could have allowed the play to go on. I think Danny Barth's across on the cover, they're arguing it, and he could have let the play go on, of course, but he sees Ekwa as a go, and then Luke O'Nien comes across, doesn't he? Has a nibble at him as well. Danny Barth leaves Pookie to come across, and then that one there, Sargent coming away from goal, maybe a half shout at Luke O'Nien's let into him a little bit, but I think it's generous if it was to be given. Sargent, the other Norwich players weren't arguing, weren't asking for a penalty, were they? So, no, I think overall, excellent clean sheet. Going to Norwich, difficult place to go at this level, especially. Tony Mowbray, lads will be delighted, and not too many would have backed us. Go there today, get 3 points. Yeah,
absolutely. I wonder if we can see what that does to the league table this afternoon. We flashed this up at half time, but Sunderland move up a couple of places to 10th, having fallen a couple because they're not being in action until this Sunday lunchtime kickoff. But that's a little bit more encouraging this afternoon, isn't it, Danny?
It is, and the table's levelled itself out in terms of games, isn't it? Everyone now played 36 there in the sort of top half of the table as well. Still tight, isn't it? Right up to, Middlesbrough putting pressure on Sheffield United,
who are on a bit of a bad run at the moment. They are next to play Sunderland at the Stadium Light on Wednesday here on SFC
they've still got that four-point cushion over them, haven't they? But I think they've lost 4 of the last 6, I think, and obviously got the cup run as well, which they've had. A little distraction for him in terms of that, but
5 points away from the playoffs, Danny. We've moved over 50 points this season. If you were to say to Sunderland fans at the beginning of the season, you would finish on 10th with 52 points. Obviously, there's games to be played. A lot of people would have taken that.
They would do. But I think from it, perhaps as a player's point of view, and the positive side of looking at that table, and we've been in that top half for most of the season, haven't we? In and around the playoffs. We've dropped off because we had 3 defeats before today. But it's still tight, you go on this little run now, 30 points to play for still. We can go on a little run, we've still got to play the teams in and around us. It's going to be difficult, of course it is. You're going to Burnley, not many teams have come away from there picking up a point, let alone 3.
And away from
Sheffield
today,
on Wednesday night.
Our record has not been that great against the sides in the top.
No, it hasn't, no. So I think that's the first one we've picked up on the road against the top half side. So confidence back into the boys, that's all it can take. Football, we say momentum and confidence, the 2 biggest words in football for me. So the lads getting back on the bus now, coming back up to the northeast, they'll be delighted, and the confidence, they'll be looking forward to going into that one on Wednesday night against the team now where people are thinking Sheffield United are having a wobble.
Confidence will be low. Sunderland weren't getting an early goal,
defeat at home to Luton yesterday, so be an interesting one on Wednesday, that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at some of your thoughts now then on #AskDanny. We've been asking for opinions from around the world this afternoon. Adam's got in touch. What a win! Right, the big question all the fans are asking. Is the playoffs still a possibility? We've just been looking at that league table, Danny.
Yeah.
We can throw it up again if we want, or maybe on the TV behind us. But the league table is suggesting we're not far away. We've been in and around it all season.
Yeah.
We've had a bit of bad form, to say the least, over the last 4 or 5 games, haven't we? Sunderland back to winning ways this afternoon. Have to play a lot of those teams you can see on your screen still as well.
Yeah, again, I know I listen to a lot of what people are saying, fans are saying, and going off the last 3 results, obviously we're picking up injuries. 1 or 2 lads have dipped in form as well. We've shipped a few goals, so naturally you're thinking, of course at the start of the season we've just been promoted. We crept in the back door through the playoffs. Stay up this season, a lot of fans would have took 18th or something like that, really, and say, listen, fair enough. And then you look to build again, but I can only judge it on merit and what I've seen against us playing against the other teams. There's not too many games this season where we've not been on it. You can look at obviously last week, maybe a bit of a blip in terms of the levels where we've been at, and 1 or 2 other games. But other than that, we've been in games. Week in, week out, we've been in games. We have a lot of possession. We have a lot of opportunities.
Today we didn't have a lot of possession though.
No, it's a different side of us in a way today. I think maybe that's something they've worked on. Depends who you're coming up against as well. You maybe look at a Reading or somebody else who are happy for the opposition to have the team. But I'm sure you look at Norwich's stats, especially at Carrow Road, they do see a lot of the ball. They're a possession-based team, like to work it through. Kenny McLean, he pulls the strings in front of the back 4, gets them on the front foot. And I'm sure Tony Mowbray, the coaching staff, have probably said, expect it. Times we're going to have to be patient, organised in our shape, but when we press, go at the right times. If there's an opportunity, they overrun the ball, heavy touch, etc., nick it. And we've seen that in the first half, didn't we? 3 or 4 times there. Maybe if we were a little bit better, tidier on that first pass, a little bit more energy, getting in support, we could have created more opportunities ourselves. But there's more than one way to win a game of football, of course there is.
And perhaps it has gone completely to plan then, because we restricted them to any clean-cut opportunities, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, I think it was the game 2 games ago, we had 72% of the ball. Lost it. That's going to happen in football. Rotherham, I think we had more of the ball down there. But the most important stat of the game is the score, isn't it, at the end of the day? So we've won the game today. Yes, Norwich have had a lot of possession. They forced us back for a good half an hour or so in that second half. But how many saves, you said it there, how many top-class saves has Anthony Patterson had to make today? Even a save, really.
Hasn't had a stretch for one,
the one from Pookie was, it was a warm-up at best, wasn't it? He hasn't had a save to make really there, so they'll be delighted. But again, going back to the boys at the back, massive credit for them there. They've thrown their bodies in the way, block after block. Danny Bart would have enjoyed that today. Dan Ballard, that's what it's all about, coming up against top players at this level. Pookie, who's done it at the Premier League. Josh Sargent as well, coming off the bench there. They've got 21 goals between the two of them this season.
And with Ajay Elise out for the rest of the season, Dennis Serkin still suffering from that concussion. Has Luke O'Nien found another position, but a starting position for himself?
Well, it will be for now, won't it? I think looking at it today, there was talk, are we going to go to a back 3, back 4, back 5, whatever you want to call it, really. We were back 6 at times there late on, weren't we? But Luke just gets on with it, doesn't he? And he's put an absolute shift in. I thought he was excellent today. Composure, reading his situations. He sees it better at the back. A bit
of grit as well back there.
Yeah, he comes across as this quiet boy. You see him putting the lips on, was it Sorensen there, wasn't it? But at the same time, he can be a little bit naughty at times, Luke. We've seen it. He's been sent off earlier in the season. But it's just one of them you can rely on, I think. He puts his foot in. He's good in the air. He's not the biggest in terms of his height, but he's got a good spring. I said that about Trey Hume as well. Read situations, that composure there, that cross come in. I think it was Marquinhos 3 yards behind him in his own 6-yard box. Just brings the ball down and won the free kick, didn't he, for the soft handball, wasn't it? But no, I think he's one there that every manager will love to have in the squad.
Okay then, Danny, I think we are done for this afternoon. We are next here on SFC Live, broadcasting around the world on Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. kick-off here at the Stadium of Light, where we're broadcasting from this afternoon. And that's against Sheffield United. It's another big game at the Stadium of Light for Sunderland, but after today they'll be well up for it. The Black Cats have defeated the Canaries by 1-0. We'll see you next time.